Alex Ayala has just made it completely official with Nike, and the way this whole thing went down is sending shock waves through the entire tennis world. The deal is signed, the partnership is confirmed, and the details of what Nike is giving this young woman are absolutely staggering. But what makes this story even bigger is what is happening on the other side of it. Because while Ayala is being celebrated and showered with one of the most lucrative endorsement deals in women's tennis, Aryna Sabalenka is sitting there watching it all unfold with a feeling that can only be described as instant regret. And the reasons why are going to leave you completely speechless. For weeks, there had been reports circulating that Nike had made an offer worth $45 million and that she had accepted it. But there was no official confirmation because Ayala was doing exactly what champions do. She stayed locked in, kept her head down, competed at the Dubai Open without letting any of the outside noise distract her from what she came to do. That kind of focus and professionalism at such a young age is precisely why the biggest brands in the world are lining up to attach their name to hers. The moment the Dubai Open wrapped up, everything changed. Eala made her way to Nike headquarters, and what Nike had waiting for her was nothing short of extraordinary. They did not simply hand her a contract and call it a day. They built an entire gallery inside their headquarters featuring her most iconic moments, all framed on the walls as a tribute to everything she has already accomplished in her young career. They had a custom pair of shoes designed specifically for her, a deeply personal and symbolic gesture to let her know exactly how valued she is. This was Nike rolling out the red carpet in the most spectacular fashion, and the message was loud and clear. Alexa is not just another signing. She is the future, and Nike is treating her accordingly. Now, the deal itself is worth breaking down because the numbers alone are remarkable, but the structure of the partnership is what really tells the full story. The reported $45 million over 3 years is already an eye-opening figure. But performance incentives built into the agreement mean the total value could go considerably higher. What truly separates this from a standard endorsement arrangement, though, is the role Ia is being given within the Nike ecosystem. She is not simply being paid to wear their gear on court. She is being positioned as the official face of Nike across the entire Southeast Asian region. That means custom outfits, major global promotional campaigns, and a level of brand visibility that is typically reserved for only the most elite athletes on Nike's entire roster. Nike is essentially handing her a platform that extends far beyond tennis, and they are betting heavily on her star power to drive their presence across one of the most important and rapidly growing markets in the world. And understanding why Nike moved this aggressively requires looking at the bigger picture. They had been watching Eala very closely for a long time, and what they saw convinced them that she represents something genuinely rare. The excitement she generates wherever she competes is unlike almost anything else in the sport right now. Thousands of fans have been flooding venues and streets just to catch a glimpse of her playing. Across the Philippines and the broader Southeast Asian region, she is not just a tennis player. She is a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of pride and possibility for millions of people. Nike's marketing team recognized that what they were looking at was a once-in-a-generation opportunity, and they were not alone in seeing it. New Balance and Adidas were both aggressively pursuing Eala, and Nike knew the competition was serious. They also had a very painful reminder of what happens when you hesitate. Losing Coco Gauff to New Balance was one of the most costly mistakes in Nike's recent history. Gauff went on to become one of the most celebrated and marketable athletes in the sport, and Nike had to watch from the outside because they were too slow to act. They were absolutely not going to allow that to happen again. When the opportunity with Eala presented itself, they came to the table immediately and with everything they had. Now, here's where the story takes a turn that has the tennis world genuinely stunned, because the Aryna Sabalenka situation provides a contrast that is almost impossible to wrap your head around. While Eala is being welcomed at Nike headquarters with galleries and custom shoes and a landmark $45 million deal, Sabalenka is experiencing something completely different with that exact same brand. And the gap between how Nike is treating these two athletes right now could not be more stark or more telling. Sabalenka is the world #1. She is a multiple Grand Slam champion. She has been with Nike for years and has achieved things that very few players in the history of the sport have accomplished. And yet, when she went to Nike asking for recognition that matched her stature, specifically requesting a unique custom outfit that reflected her position as the top player in the world, Nike told her no.
Again, after Aryna Sabalenka said that she would not be getting any star treatment at the Slams next year. I'll discuss whether Aryna is truly being snubbed by the swoosh brand.
They flat out said they were not willing to provide her with that level of prominence. Let that sink in for a moment. The world number one denied a custom outfit by the same brand that just built a gallery for a young player and handed her $45 million. The disrespect in that contrast is absolutely staggering. Reports indicate that the relationship between Sabalenka and Nike has been quietly unraveling for quite some time now, and a series of events have accelerated that breakdown significantly. Her controversial comments following Coco Gauff's Roland Garros victory created enormous discomfort for Nike, a brand that guards its public image with extreme care. Being associated with that controversy was something Nike was deeply unhappy about, and it marked the beginning of a visible shift in how they were approaching their relationship with her.
In the headlines this season alone multiple times, first for smashing her racket following her Australian Open loss to Madison Keys, and then of course that infamous Roland Garros press conference situation where she downplayed Coco Gauff's success, and she faced a lot of criticism for that.
Her high-profile defeat to Madison Keys at the US Open added another layer of tension. And then came the incidents surrounding the WTA finals that reportedly pushed things to a breaking point. There were troubling allegations about her behavior toward opponents, including deeply serious claims about how she conducted herself following her loss to Aryna Sabalenka in the final. These allegations, if true, represent exactly the kind of association Nike has been working to move away from. The brand was reportedly disturbed by what was being reported, and it appears to have accelerated their decision to create distance between themselves and Sabalenka in a very deliberate and very public way. Sabalenka herself has confirmed that Nike will no longer be producing custom dresses for her, and sources close to the situation suggest she has been reaching out to Nike directly in an attempt to salvage whatever remains of the relationship. But from everything being reported, the direction this is heading is not a positive one, and the partnership may not survive the rest of the season. The timing of all of this makes it even more striking. At the exact moment Sabalenka is losing ground with Nike and watching the brand pull away from her, Ayala is walking through the doors of Nike headquarters and being welcomed like royalty. That is a message no amount of spin can soften. Nike is looking forward, and the direction they are looking is unmistakably toward Alex Ayala. This is a defining moment not just for Ayala personally, but for Filipino tennis, for Southeast Asian sports, and for the broader conversation about where the future of women's tennis is heading. A young woman who has worked tirelessly to get to this point, who stayed focused and professional even as the biggest deal of her life was waiting for her, has just been handed one of the most significant endorsement partnerships in the sport. And everything about the way Nike celebrated her arrival tells you that they believe this is just the beginning of something truly historic. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think Nike made the right call signing Ayala to a $45 million deal at this stage of her career? And what about Sabalenka? Does a multiple Grand Slam champion and world number one deserve better than what Nike has given her? Is this the end of their partnership, or can it still be saved? Drop your thoughts in the comments because we want to know exactly where you stand on all of this.